Welcome back to the Yankees Farm Report. This week we're visited by Baseball America's top Yankee prospect, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. Congratulations on the great season that you just had, Elmer, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Before we start, I just want to as always, thank the channel members and especially the new channel members for helping keep the lights on. Thank you to all the subscribers who like, share, and engage with the content. It's very much appreciated. So getting right into it, Elmer, let's go back a bit. How did you get started playing baseball?
I started playing when I was like probably like 3 years old because I have a big brother, and I mean when I was little, I used to like watch him like when he was playing. Like he was a little bit older than me, so he was already playing a little bit when he started, and just me just watching him, he just started playing ever since.
Mm.
So it was probably like at 3, 4 years old.
And did you have a team as a kid?
What was that?
Who was your team as a kid?
My team. I mean, ever since I started watching like MLB and all that, once I was like old enough to understand it a little bit,
Hmm.
I was always a Yankee.
Hmm.
'Cause I used to like watching A-Rod when he was, playing in the Yankees. So he
Hmm.
he became my favorite, like my first favorite players, and I just stick with the Yankees ever since.
Did you always want to be a pitcher, or you just kind of fell into it?
So I kind of felt it. I used to like to hit. Like I used to be an outfitter, and I used to like to hit. Like I wanted to be like a position player, but I mean, when the time went by, like pitching was something I felt like I was just better at and felt
Hmm.
more comfortable and enjoyed more. So I ended up here being a pitcher.
Okay. Um, so for those that aren't aware, probably mostly Yankee fans, can you explain what it's like in Puerto Rico for someone who, let's say, wants to enter the draft? Because it's not like you're an IFA.
I mean, it's kind of same like as if you're like in the U.S. like going into the draft. You either just go out of high school or out of college. But at the same time, I feel like most of the guys here, like we don't like most of the guys here don't get like that like recruitment process like you like get here in the U.S.
Mhm.
Like it's difficult for guys there just to like get like college offers and stuff like that. So most of the guys like they just prepare themselves just to go to the draft. Like if they don't get drafted, like if you have college or you go something like that, you usually just go like after. But I feel like here mostly most of the guys like go pro, so they just go like they just try to like prepare themselves and just like showcase themselves to go to the draft.
Mm. And in your case, you were drafted right out of high school, but you were planning on going to college. Did something change?
I mean, my goal was always to like get drafted and turn pro. So I mean, obviously I had the college offer, and I had like if like the draft didn't work out, and I didn't have no problem going to college. But I mean, I was probably like in my senior year, I was like I wanted to go pro. Like if the opportunity doesn't come now, then I had the second option to go to college. Um, so yeah, I was committed to Oregon. Like for guys for like Puerto Rico, even like Latins, like that's a way different scene. Like nobody believed. It was like even my teammate, nobody believed I was going to Oregon.
Yeah, I would have thought
But
somewhere like in Connecticut.
I mean, I was like my senior year was like when COVID hit, so there was
Hmm.
like that was the year like college scouts and like they weren't doing any showcases that much because of COVID. But I went to PG National, and when I pitched, I had a good outing there, and like the pitching coach from there just reached out, and we were like in communication. I liked all the stuff they like showed me all, so I decided to commit there.
Mm. Before you got
Did do you
drafted,
ever? Oh,
Dad.
I was just gonna say, did you ever talk to Anthony Hall that you could have been teammates at Oregon?
No, I didn't have a chance to speak with him because I didn't know most of the guys. I remember they had a group chat like the guys were like committed my year, and I started
Hmm.
like learning a couple guys, but I didn't met like before like I came to the Yankees. I hadn't met him.
So before you enter the draft, were you here? Did you get any idea of like around where you would be drafted?
Not really. Like, my advisors and all that, they were telling me, oh, like you could project, you could go like from this round to this one, but at the same time, like it's not like being going in the job is like too unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So I mean, I was planning on going my thought was like I was probably could be like the first 5 rounds, but
Mhm.
at the same time I could ended up getting like a more like later round. So
Yeah, I think and you were a fourth round pick, right?
yeah, fourth
Awesome,
round.
awesome. So looking back at your time with Boston, you had put up several solid seasons there, but I don't want to say that maybe they were holding you back, but it doesn't seem like they were unleashing you, or maybe they were holding you back. Can you speak to that?
I mean, it's not like they were holding me back a little bit, but I mean, coming out of high school, like I was, I could say I was one of the probably lightest players in the draft. I weighed like I remember my first weigh-in when I got to Boston was like I was weighing like 150 pounds. So the goal, like ever since I got there, the goal was for me just put weight because they're like the goal is like if I could put like good weight, like that's could just transition like to pitching, like they're getting more velo, like health issues and all that. So I felt like those first couple of years there, they were more like just it was more like a development like
Mm.
type, like just learn like to like the whole like how the whole pro works, like like full seasons. And it was mostly just trying to like develop a couple pitches but feel like the primary thing was just me getting weight and just to be stronger that way it just helped me.
To build on your physical, to build up your
Yeah.
physical. Okay.
Hey, so obviously had a really great privilege of being a part of two organizations that are amongst the best in developing pitchers in the minor leagues. Boston, that's something they've developed more recently, and obviously we've seen the success of Peyton Tolley with the Yankees. We saw the success of Cam Schiller. So what has it been like being a part of both those organizations? What they've been teaching you, and more specifically, when you came over to the Yankees, was there something that they were teaching you that was different from Boston, and maybe there was something that helped it click for you? Because you had your best season this year, and you looked amazing. And I'm just kind of curious what there was either just natural progression, like you were talking about with growth in your weight, or if there was something in the pitching mechanics or pitch shapes that the Yankees helped reinforce.
Well, like at the beginning, it was just more like just happy, like they were letting me just go things like when I was in Boston, like naturally, just like I said before, like their goal was mostly because their goal was mostly to just put on weight because they felt like for me pitching like mechanical wise, they didn't see like I was like they felt like I was fluid and like everything was great with it, and like pitches, it was just like for me at least, like feel like I have a good feel for all my pitches. It's just morally just execution and just trusting in the moment. But I feel like when I was in Boston first, like there it was more development, like in terms of like trying to like get a feel for all my pitches, and but I feel like once I got to the Yankees, they just let me like just do what I do, and feel like at the same time obviously during the season you can be like you work a couple stuff, you try to tweak a couple stuff, so you just to work on, be better at it, but. I feel like here, like since I got the Yankees, they didn't put me like any restrictions, any type of what. They just let me like go and just trust myself and just believe like what I can do.
Elmer, we kind of broke the seal on this already, but fans talk about trades like trade this guy, trade for that guy. What's it like being traded?
It was, it was a roller coaster because I remember that the same day I got traded was the same day they traded for Crochet earlier.
Hmm.
And I remember that day I didn't have no data on my phone, so I couldn't like get a call, I couldn't receive nothing. I was saying like once like my phone got back, like I started getting a lot of messages and stuff. Like people asking, "Oh, were you traded on like on the crochet deal?" I was like, if they traded me, I don't know nothing about it. So I mean, like it was like you never like want to be like traded at the time, but at the same time, like it's an opportunity to just like showcase your like talents and all that. So for me, I mean, I was surprised by it, especially like being for the Yankees, like even more because you don't see Boston and Yankee trades like
Mm.
every time. Like, it's not every day you see a trade like that.
Yeah.
So I remember I just got home. I was getting some treatment, and all that, just the normal like basic stuff I usually do, like for my arm health, all that. And I get a phone call, and He's a director like player development from Boston. He called me, just let me know like how things are going, and he was like, hey, like we made a trade and you're part of it, like. And I was like, I remember like 20 minutes before that, like I was just scrolling to Twitter and all that. And I was see that it was a winter meeting, so winter meetings
Hmm.
usually like a lot of trades, a lot of signings, and all that. Um, I remember I was seeing like a lot of stuff like like Boston and Seattle are engaged for Luis Castillo. They're like it was like once I saw it, I was like the first thing that came to mind was like, oh, I just got traded to Seattle. And I remember like I was like I was when he was telling me that at the same time I was just waiting for him to tell me like what team like who I got traded for.
Hmm.
It was like, oh, you're traded to the Yankees. I was like that caught me off guard. I feel like that was the team I least expected it to be.
Hmm.
And it was like, oh, like I wish you the best of luck. And then like guys from the Yankees reached out, and I remember I called my agent. The first thing I called was my agent. I was like, I just got traded, and he was like, oh, for real? Like I don't know nothing about that. And he made some calls actually, and nobody knew about the trade. Like the trade was made public like an hour and a half after, and I was like, and they never told me who I was traded for. Like if there were more like guys that was traded with me, or it was like what was the whole trade.
Hmm.
And I had to learn about it like hour and a half after.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So
Did
what
that
was it?
change your perspective on baseball as an industry, or did you already kind of anticipate that kind of thing?
I mean, it's like you don't expect to get traded, but at the same time, it's a business. So like you could get traded any moment. Like this is what it is. Like I mean, I like I always said this. Like I'm like appreciative like with all the things like I did in Boston, but like at the same time, like is another opportunity and like being able to go to Yankees. I mean, it was like my childhood like favorite team. So I mean, at the same time, I was like kind of nervous and like I was like shocked, but at the same time, I was just excited because I was being able to go to the Yankees.
Yeah.
What was it like arriving at the Yankees complex?
It was kind of weird, not gonna lie, at first, like because I didn't know anybody. So
Hmm.
and me, since I was like younger, I mean, like changes like that, going to a new place and all that, like I was kind of bad at it. Like I struggle like to like I just take for me it takes time like you slowly like getting to
Hmm.
know people and like so I mean at the beginning I was like Boston already knew everybody like I don't know like how like it's not until now going to the Yankees it's like I got to start from scratch. I got to start from zero
It's like the
because I don't know.
first day of high
Yeah,
school.
yeah. Like I don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
Like I got to like start meeting new people. Like
Mhm.
and I remember a buddy of mine here yeah told me like he was playing winter league here and there were a couple guys like Puerto Rican guys that they were there. So it's like at least some Puerto Rican guys, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
I was gonna
anyone.
say there's no Puerto Ricans there. I don't know any Puerto Ricans in New York.
But it was like, oh yeah, there are two guys like they're here playing with me. But it's like I didn't know them at the time. So I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, like it's still like I don't. But at the same time, like once I got there, like they were really friendly. Like they helped me, like they welcomed me, and they would show me around, like just to like familiarize with everybody. So now, like I'm thankful for it because it's
Who,
kind of
who
helped me a lot.
who was the first one? Lagrange?
No, I remember Adiel. He was in my flight
Oh yeah,
there,
yeah,
so he was the first one I like kind of talked to a little bit.
yeah. Hmm.
And when we got to apartments, he was living with me. Same with Aglene and Serna, the pitcher. They were both there. And they were the first kind of like they were the first guys like Serna helped me a lot like at the beginning because I didn't know like that much and they were the like first three I like interacted with because I mean we were living in the same apartment. Um, Once I like started meeting guys, I remember I like a week or two after I remember that's when I met Lagrange and we started like he was helping me a lot too and we were just joking at the time a lot so he was one of the first guys like I had like helped me a lot in the beginning.
Hey, Elmer, man, congratulations on a heck of a season this year.
Thank you.
I got a quick question for you. So you got to spearhead the top of a elite rotation in Hudson Valley and in Somerset. What was it like to play with like a bunch of guys that were just dominating at both of those levels in the rotation?
I mean, it was fun, man. I remember the first, like, the beginning in Hudson. I remember there was a week um, where I feel like every single pitcher had like 9 strikeouts, every single starter.
I remember
And
that.
I remember we were like joking, like we used to joke around like every single time, every week, every like we were joking like who would have had like the best start, like who would have had like the best game, all that, like because everybody was pitching so well there. So I mean, it was fun, like being there, like it was one of them like best parts of the season because like watching every single guy just every single day, like and at the same time, I like to like see that and like be a spectator of that because I just learn from it. So like at least for me at the beginning, I remember I used to pitch like Friday, Saturdays. So me watching those guys, Ben, Carlos, and Josh when he was there too. That was for me. That was a scouting report. Like just see what they're doing, just pick because like every single pitcher has his different traits. But at least like for me, like I just try to pick like some similarities I have with each one of them and just take it to my
Mhm.
game so that way I could just execute it better. And it was fun, man. It was fun like at the beginning, and then being Somerset too. It was fun. We used to like at least for me and Lagrange, like we were roommates almost the whole year, so we used to like challenge each other like to just do like whatever it is, or even get strikeouts or throw more innings or
Yeah, I was
give
gonna
up less walks. So we used to like it was like a friendly like challenge like for each other just to like go out there and just try to like be better than like whatever past outing used to be.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you had like a strikeout competition with Lagrange because you guys were like head to head, and I think, well, for pitchers that didn't debut, you finished one and he finished two.
I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of not a competition because he
Yeah,
was he was he was
he
getting
was
way too
putting
many
up a dozen
strikeouts.
every other start.
Yeah, like he was getting way too many strikeouts at the beginning. Like it was not a competition. Like I remember then after like when I like went to Somerset, I felt like I got into a groove like there. Like for a couple starts, I was getting a bunch of strikeouts, and that was like you would just be playing with it. It was like, oh no, like who's gonna get more than enough?
You kind of just adding into this a little bit. Was there maybe something being in that rotation of great guys that brought, more out of you? Because, you're in a rotation, Carlos Lagrange was blowing up, because everyone saw his, 102 mile per hour fastball. He was going high in the media. Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham were the first two picks in the previous draft. And then there's this guy, we traded from for Boston. Was there something where you're seeing these guys get all this kind of more media spotlight, and you see yourself having this really good season? Like, what do I need to do to get to that? Like, was there something, I guess, that pushed you seeing that happen? Because by the end of the season, you're a top 100 prospect. Like, you got the respect you deserve. But I'm just curious, like, what was that process as the season was going on?
And I usually don't try to like think of like that like media and all that because I mean I don't want to like lose focus so like whatever I'm working on it's like so for me at the beginning I wasn't like paying attention that much to it. I was just like just taking things like one step at a time, like just slowly just try, like whatever, like just slowly work on it and then just let like the results just speak for themselves. So at the beginning like I said before, like seeing those guys, like it just helped me and just motivate me just to like get like just learn from them and see what they're doing and just take it to my game. Like same with Ben. I remember Ben,
Mhm.
he has this big curveball. I know how to throw a curveball too. So watching him, like I used to like just watch how like he executes with it and like where he does it play best against like opponents. Same with Legrand, he throws sweeper. Sweeper was one of the pitches like I was trying to develop the most, working the most the whole year. So just getting cues from him, like just talking with him, just like helping each other, like what does
Mhm.
he do with it, like and how like he like throws it, like he does something different to make it move more, whatever it is. So for me, watching them, it was like I was just trying to like learn what they were doing, just seeing and just take it to my game, and it was the same vice versa. Like they at that time, like they were the same. Like they wanted like oh like something I did like and just help us each other like had that confidence and just go out there and just try to dominate every single start.
Now, I'm glad you brought up your curveball and your sweeper. How do you define your changeup? I've seen it described as a split change. What do
Yeah,
you?
it's a splitter.
It's a splitter. Okay.
Yeah.
The popular pitch these past couple weeks, seeing Lee Savage use that in the World Series, so
Yeah.
that's a good one to have.
Yeah, I remember I took mine. I started throwing it. I took mine. It's like some kind of similar to the same one Kevin Gossman throws.
It's a really
So
good comp right there. He's a great pitcher.
yeah, yeah. I remember when I started because I was like I remember with the time I was in Boston, like they want to like they for me they wanted me like to just develop a changeup, but I feel like I wasn't like it was just not working. Like it was just not clicking for it. I couldn't find like cues. I couldn't find like a grip that was like helping me. So I remember I was throwing a bullpen one day and like remember the pitching coach there was like, oh, like you want to try this one? Because I remember I used to like see Kevin Gausman pitch and it was like he would get like a lot of strikeouts in the splitter and it was just nasty. It was like I was like, damn, I want to throw a pitch like that. But so I remember I saw a video like his grip all that and we were playing it when and outside and threw one and the first one was like -3 and like 14. I was
Ooh.
like holy. So it's like, yeah, like this is it. Like, and I started throwing it ever since. Like, felt comfortable since the beginning, and I felt like this year. I remember last year that was the pitch I was like, like this season, like sweeper for me was the pitch I was developing more and trying to throw the most. Last year, the splitter was one of the pitches I was trying to like use more, and it kind of felt like it kind of helped me like getting to spring training. When I got in spring, like splitters always was always a pitch like I liked, but I wasn't that confident with it. I didn't use it as much. Like I used to like throwing it a lot because it was comfortable, but it wasn't one of my like most dominant pitches. Like I usually had the curveball, I had the gyro, or like sweeper a little bit. But I remember going into spring, that was the one pitch I was throwing the most, and I would say like if I had like 40 strikeouts in the whole spring training, I feel like 35 were with the splitter.
Mm.
And just throwing it and just seeing a lot like because I used to throw a lot against lefties, but it was like against righties, I wasn't that comfortable with. So once I like my goal in spring, like my challenge when I remember I was in spring was throw more splitter righty on righties, and I felt like doing that it just helped me gain more confidence, and I just now I feel like I can just throw it whatever batter and whatever count, whatever because like I feel that confident now with it.
And it's funny you mentioned Gossman because your fastball profile looks like his, in my mind, too. You can tell me I'm full of it, but would you say you throw more than one fastball or
Yeah, I throw a four seam and a sinker.
okay, right. It's and
Yeah.
so I mean your ball moves a lot. So
Yeah.
I think that it's sometimes hard to define those things from watching from a distance, but yeah, that's a good profile.
Was the sinker something that the Yankees or talked you into adding or that you wanted to add? Because if I remember correctly, it was new this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to throw it last year, but I didn't throw it that much. Like
Hmm.
they like when I was there, they wanted like focus more on like the fastball and the ride and all that. So they didn't want me to throw that many sinkers.
Hmm.
But like my fastball has a little bit of like ride and sink. So at the beginning, like first couple outings, when I was in spring when I got to the Yankees, I wasn't throwing much, but it was like they were all of a sudden like I was throwing a bullpen one day and they were like they wanted to see like, hey, yeah, like, do you throw a sinker? Like, they wanted me to start throwing it, and it was an easy pitch like to pick up at the moment. Like, I felt like I didn't had to like literally like get cues or grips or whatever. I was just gripping it and just throwing it, and it was since the beginning. It was one of the easiest pitch I had the whole season, and I felt like it was my best pitch the whole year.
And it
Because,
was nasty.
but
You
like
get that thing up to 99.
yeah, like movement wise and like results, like it was the pitch that I felt like I had tagged more and it was more end zone and I had a lot of weak contact with it.
Hmm.
And feel like right now is my best pitch. Like
I got a quick question for you. How is it like to outduel Jonah Tong twice?
It was fun. It was fun because I remember going into that matchup. I remember everybody's like playing with you gonna pitch him on Tom? Oh, you think he's gonna like he was getting all the media attention? Like they were like, it was the only thing they were speaking of.
Mm.
So it's like for me, I felt like that put like a target on my. I was like, nah, he's not gonna like. I'm gonna try to like outdo him, and it was fun. It was fun. Like I remember I got to outdo him like twice that week, even though like he had really good games too. So it was fun. Like those games of that week it was an intense fun week there against the Mets.
Has
You
there been
you
any?
What
Go
was
ahead,
that?
Paul.
I was gonna say you made the jump from high A all the way to triple A this season. What would you say is the difference at each level?
I feel like it's just the little things. Like obviously, like when I was in Hudson, I got to a point like I was confident already, like kind of how like the league is like there. But I remember when I got to Double A, I know like obviously you got more experienced guys, you got older guys. Like it's not gonna be like the same as so. Obviously, like once I got there, like the first thing I went to a couple guys, Lagrange was there, like a couple guys, like there was. I just trying to like talk to them and just like learn from them what they saw and like what they did they do like adjustments and all that. Because I feel like for me personally, I feel like it's not like like it's a new level. I gotta like change my whole approach. I feel like my approach, like my pitches and all that, like the way I execute it, I feel like I could play it at any level. But at the same time, just kind of learn those cues, like what they do, like to help them, and just so for me, like once I got there, it's more like the little things. Like obviously, like there's more experienced guys, so you can't just be like hanging curveballs or just throwing like fastballs down the middle because they're just gonna like hit it.
Mm.
So it was more trusting myself, like just preparing myself like in sides or the scouting report, whatever it is, to like and just study them and just seeing like how my stuff plays best against them and just trusting. Because remember my first outing in Double A, I was kind of rocked. I'm not gonna lie, but it's part. I learned it's part of it. Like I learned from it, and then after that, I feel like I kind of got into a groove, and it helped me like just go forward. Like it was the same Triple A. I know like going in Triple A, you're gonna see a lot of more big league guys, like a lot of more experienced guys. Like it's like it was kind of the same process. I got kind of rocked a little bit too in Triple A, my debut. Um, but at the same time, just learn from it. Just seeing, like, just learn from maybe like mistake or whatever it is. Like, just learn from it and just take it to the next to the next side and just take it to the next game and just go out there and just try to like be better every single day.
So when you get rocked like that, it's just like, all right, that happened, move on, or do you sit there and
I
go
mean,
back
I'm
to like
I'm,
what
I'm not
went
gonna lie.
wrong?
I'm kind of pissed in the moment. I don't want to get like. I, I used to be pissed. Like I need like when I had it's gonna happen like happen in high A, happen in Double A, like
Mhm.
happen too, and it's probably gonna happen like if I get to the bigs in one day. So like it's just part of the game. Like
Right.
you
I
can't
find
like
it funny that oh, go on, sorry.
you can't expect like to just go out there every single game and just throw 7 shutout innings with 12 strikeouts. Like you're gonna like
That was
have outing.
that was Kyle
You're
Carr at
gonna
Hudson Valley.
you're gonna have outings where all of a
Yeah.
sudden like you start well and all of a sudden like in one inning 6 runs and it happened to me against the Mets. I remember the second like third time I pitched to him. I was
Mhm.
first 2 innings. I remember I had like 4 strikeouts. I was like comfortable. I was in a group like this is gonna be another good game for me. All of a sudden, third inning, they scored like
Mm.
6 runs and I had to come out of the game.
I was there that night.
Yeah, and
Is that the
it
game you had to stand out there because the ump got sick or something?
yeah, that was like like all that happened. Like I understand
Yeah.
there were like a couple pitches. I remember they were like umpires kind of didn't give it to me. All of a sudden, like hit a double, and then a hit, and then all of a sudden the umpire has to go out of the game. I was standing there for like almost half an hour.
Right,
That was
right. I couldn't
tough.
believe that they let you stand out there for that
Yeah.
long.
So like it was gonna be like games like that, just part of it. So for me, I just try to like just I'm pissed at the moment. I'm not like at the moment I don't want to talk to nobody about it, but like after like a while, I'm cool down, then just learn from it. Just watch what I did. Like just try to like learn from it, and just go on to the next one.
So when that happens, do you stick around in the dugout, or you go back inside to the locker room?
I go back to the locker room just to just take out all the rage I have in the moment, and then just
Don't start punching lockers.
no. That's the one thing because I've seen it, like a lot of guys do it, and nobody is like being victorious in that like
Yeah,
battles
end
against
up
the
with a
The
locker.
fractured
world
knuckle.
always wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
I mean I'm kind of pissed, I'm raged a little bit, I don't, but I got like that limit. I know I'm not
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
just
I'm glad that we've, talked about this, kind of, that experience of, having a bad outing, because specifically after that first outing in Double A, your next outing was against Erie, which has Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal, Jose Briseño. Those are three guys who were, top 20 prospects in all of baseball. In addition, they had a couple other guys. No one would have been surprised if, oh, this guy just got promoted to Double A. It's going to be a little bit of transition. You go out and throw 7 innings, four hit ball, seven strikeouts, two earned runs, and one of those was, a home run in the seventh inning. What was that like, taking that, I guess, negative energy from that first start and transitioning that into, improving in that next rebound start, and especially just in this case, doing it against such a stacked lineup. Like, did you know the lineup you were going up against?
yeah, like I said, like obviously you try to learn from like obviously for me I feel like it wasn't a good outing my first one because like I gave out like 6 runs, like 9 hits, but like at the same time, I took a lot of positives out of it. Like, and I mean, I feel like I was attacking the zone. I was getting ahead of hitters. I was just not able to like finish them, and that's something like is gonna happen. Like, there's gonna be days like where like for like I feel like that day my splitter wasn't. I wasn't like executing better, like good. Like, same as my sweeper. So it's like, I mean, it was just one day like it didn't. So I didn't let it like just. So I remember that was when we took the break, and we took the break just fresh or like a refresh. And when we came back, it's like I'm not gonna just let it eat me because I mean this is whatever like or at least
Mhm.
like they hit it, but at the same time hitters they get it back for a reason, they're gonna hit it. So for me, like going to that outing, I was not changing anything. I was just doing the same. I was gonna do the same thing I did the last outing, and then just trying to like try to execute a little bit better. Like when I worked in my side, that was something I was like, that was the thing I was working the most. Like getting like to those old like two strike pitches, like with curveball, like whatever, if it was a splitter, the sweeper, whatever it was. And when we went there, I just took it to the game. I didn't let like the past outing just eat me. I just went there, had fun, and felt like I was executing since the beginning, and turned out to be a good outing.
What do you feel was your best game this year? Is there a memorable game for you?
It was probably the one in Nashville. I feel like that was probably I would say one of the most dominant game I've had in my whole career.
Mm.
So because I remember I had one outing, but I felt like that was the best outing I felt, and it was against the Rockies in Double A.
Mm. Yard goals.
I feel like I feel like that was the best game I like literally felt the whole game because I felt like I was executing well
Mm.
and I feel like I was dominating the game. Like they hit the home run in the fourth inning, can't do
Mhm.
can't do nothing about it. Like just hang the pitch. But I feel like that was one of the more like easiest like games because I felt like I was not like getting rushed. I was just throwing like at my pace and I was executing pitches. I was like pitches were moving well and came out with the loss in that game. So
Is there any
that's the worst part about it. Like I felt great and all that, and couldn't come out with the W, and like they still scored 3 runs. But for me, like how my body was feeling that day, like how I was executing pitches, like because I remember I threw like 6 and 2/3 and like 73 pitches, and I had like 9 strikeouts. I remember they took me out because Fernando Cruz was rehabbing and he had to go like 2 up, so they took me out, let him pitch. I was kind of pissed at that 'cause I feel like I could just throw the whole game. But I mean, it's part of it. Like I had a good game, like just one bad inning, like for three, like four hitters, but like his after that, like I feel like it was one of my best games. But if I would say like the whole like stat wise, I feel like it was the game against Asheville because I had like 12 strikeouts, so
Mm.
that's something like you can't beat.
I'll hop
I
in
got
there for a second.
wow.
You just with a wide repertoire like you got of pitches, how often do you have all of them going at the same time?
I mean, there's I feel like there's always that one pitch that is just not there. Like whether it's a curveball, a sweeper, it's a gyro. I feel like there's always like one pitch that is not like. But at the same time, like if I had one pitch that's not working, I still got other five that are working. Like, and that's something like it helped me a lot because I mean, not many guys could throw that many pitches, and but at the same time, for me, it's kind of difficult to navigate because like you got so many pitches. Like I get to a point like what pitch should I throw? Like because obviously you want to throw you want to be able like just have a feel for every single pitch, but at the same time you can't be like one fastball, sinker, cutter, sweeper, and then you gotta like obviously there you gotta mix up well. And for me, like something like you just feel in the moment, like wherever I'm feeling the best, and like obviously like you know like what to like with the scouting report and all that, you know like what pitches are probably the most effective against like certain type of guys. So I just try to lean like whatever the hitter is, just like take what are my pitches like that could work with them. If my whole six could work against a guy, then I'm just playing with it. I'm just throwing whatever like pitch. I could just throw all six of them. But if there's guys like all like probably sinker, sweeper, the pitches are like are the most effective, and then you can just add a splitter like late in the count. Like I just try to lean on those, and just
Mhm.
for me, it's like it mostly depends like on the hitter, but at the same time, I always try to like get a feel for every single pitch because this is gonna just help me like execute better. But I mean, I've had outings where I just I had two pitches working, and I just had to
Make it
just
work.
yeah, I had to make it work because like I can't go like I gotta get this pitch like just try like force a pitch and then I was like I'm throwing a lot of balls, I'm walking guys, and then I get in trouble. Like I just gotta work with what I have that day.
Now, I'm going to
Following
ask an
up on,
amateur question about that. You had six pitches. How does that? I coached high school baseball. If you had a pitcher with three pitches, that was really good. So the catcher never has the trouble putting his fingers down. How does that get communicated? How does six pitches get called from home plate? Are you giving signals sometime when you want something or what?
Right, this is the one thing like where pitch like
Ah,
when I was in triple A, it was the one thing that for me I feel like it's gonna help me a lot, but you don't get pitch in high A and double A.
yeah.
So it's you gotta work with the signs. Like usually like for me, like since I know like I throw a lot of pitches and like coming to the Yankees, like most of the guys they don't know where I throw. They don't know like how I pitch. Like it was at the beginning it was kind of like, you know, difficult trying to get in the same page. But like that's something I try like, you know, talk before like the game, meeting before the game, just like, hey, like these are like certain type of pitches I'm throwing in certain type of counts. And I remember like when I was in Hudson Valley, Omar was the one who catch me the most. So it got to a point like he already like we already were like had a good like connection. He already kind of knew like what I was thinking of throwing. But I remember my first outing or when Plains I went to high A, we were we were all over the place. Just it was like, bro, you throw so many pitches. I don't know what pitch to call you. Like I was like, yeah, I understand. But I was like, and it was funny at the moment. I mean, at the same time, like I was like, I got like kind of stuck in like because he was like, I want to throw a certain type of pitch, and he was calling. It was like no, no, you know, the whole time, the whole pitch clock kind of doesn't help.
Right, right.
So I feel like being like establishing a connection and like being like having a good game plan and knowing like each other, like what's the this is kind of important with pitch clock because you don't get that many times. You gotta just go quick.
Yeah.
How do you feel
But
about the
yeah,
pitch clock? Do you like it?
I mean, yes and no. Like it's like at times, like yeah, but at the same time, like for me, like at least the pitch clock and something that helps me is like I'm not. I always I like to go like a quick pace when I pitch. I like to go fast, like I'm because I usually like the adrenaline kind of.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like when I'm in the groove like that, like I know like when I'm in the groove, like I feel like confident every single pitch. I'm trying to go quick because I'm not trying to like give like the hitter like time to like
Right.
just take a breath. Like I'm just trying to
Mhm.
go out and just keep him guessing. Like they'll make him like have a plan against me. But at the same time, there's gonna be those outings where you can't throw a strike and you kind of need a breather. You kind of like need to slow things down, and those are the moments where a pitch clock doesn't help a little bit.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Like
Mm.
so I'm kind of in the middle. Like
I would have thought pitchers loved it because I know before that I remember like remembering let's say even David Ortiz or Nomar Garcia Parra. It's like clack 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 clack, and
yeah,
it's
like
like
no,
2 minutes outside the
no,
box.
that's one of the things like I didn't like about it. Like those hitters like just take their time. Like
You.
I be getting pissed when they like when I'm already set no and they call a timeout.
Hmm.
I was like I get pissed every single time they do that. So like at least you don't get to see that anymore. Like taking a lot of time. Like, if you
Yeah.
take a lot of time, this is gonna help me, not you. So
Pedro Martinez used to fix it with a fastball right under the chin.
yeah, I kind of had that mentality. Every time they do that, I just want to hit them. But I mean, I can't be just hitting guys just because.
Is there any hitters that gave you a hard time in the minors, or anybody in particular?
I remember the McAdoo guy from Toronto first, because in spring training, I remember he hit a home run against me. Like I pitched him like twice, and I couldn't just get him out. And I remember my first outing, he had two doubles, and I was like, "Yeah, this guy's like, I've pitched him like four times, and he's like 3 for 3 with two doubles and a home run." And I was kind of getting pissed. I was like, "Bro, I can't get this guy out. Like, I don't know what to throw him. Like, and I see a lot of guys like just be striking him out, like getting a lot of like grounders and fouls and getting outs. And it's like, this is the one guy I can't get out. Like, what can I do? But no, there was I remember the last week where I pitched twice against him, and I was like, I remember that was week I was pitcher of the week. I was like, I don't care if maybe like anybody else like hits me around or if they get like the one guy I don't want like I'm just focusing on is on him. Like I want to get him out. Like he was my goal. It's like first game I couldn't strike him out. I think it was the one guy I haven't struck. I was like, bro, like what do I throw you? Like I don't know what. And then I remember the second game that week. I had him 2-0, and I think it was the second AB, and I threw him literally three straight sinkers down the middle, and he didn't swing. And I was so pumped out after that check. I was like, I took that like took some like stress of my chest. I was like, I was so relieved after that. But yeah, he was one of those guys where I was like, I just couldn't figure him out. Like he was just hit whatever I threw at him.
You plan on working with Garrett Cole in spring training this year?
I mean, he was one of the like one of my favorite pitchers. Like when he was I remember when he was in the Astros and a couple of years when he was in the Pirates, he was one of my favorite pitchers. Like he was like him, DeGrom, Melo Diaz was one of the guys I used to watch because he in Puerto Rico. They used to compare me a lot with him, and we had I'd train with him. Like we had the same age and whatever. So, but he was one of those guys I used to like watching a lot. So me watching him this year. I remember I went to one big league game this year where I was like they called me up to the backup and he was starting that game. So I was just trying to I was literally a fan like in that moment, just watching him, just whatever he was doing. I remember I had like my welcome like rookie moment. He wanted someone to go pick up his jacket and they picked me to go bring his jacket. So, but yeah, I didn't have the chance to, like talk to him that much and just see him much because like they're like we were using the complex, and the big league team is usually there in the stadium and this the Steinbrenner Field. So, but I mean, he's like I'd say like he's one of the like reasons like I love pitching. Like he's one of those guys like I like to learn and just see what he does. It's not like you can see like his career and his numbers like speak for themselves. So just someone like I looked up to and just excited to go there and just see him and just if he can help me any type of way.
So Nick brought up spring training. It's not a bold prediction to say you're going to be added to the 40-man roster. Have you thought about that? How much have you thought about that? Is that going to change things for you, or how?
I mean, I don't try to like just think a lot to it, but obviously like there it is like I'm Rule 5 this year, and like a lot of you can see a lot they just say oh if they protect me or not. Like I'm just waiting like just to see what happens, and at the same time if they like if I'm being added like it's just like exciting at the same time. I'm just trying to like just take it in and just happy at the moment with it and just keep going forward. Like obviously like 40 man like I get the chance to just be with a big league club. So it's an opportunity and it's literally what I've been dreaming for my whole life. Just like so I know like it's just getting closer and just excited like to keep working and just being there and just having the opportunity just to be there.
Hopefully, it's not like the trade thing where you have to wait a couple hours after it happens to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I get traded
Hope
anymore.
they let you know ahead of time.
I'm done with trades.
I got two more questions here. I'm trying to let you go and you're trying to not take up too much of your time. Do you guys have any questions?
I got
Yeah,
some
I
more
got
too.
one more.
Mhm.
Um, so you had the honor of being the minor league leader in strikeouts amongst all levels. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, like obviously the hard work I've been putting like it's paying off. So obviously it's not like you don't want to be like the leader in the minor leagues. You want to be a leader in strikeouts in the big league. So obviously this is more work to do, like a lot of stuff to learn and just get get better at. So I mean, for me, I take it just like as a beginning, like to like great things come. So for me, like it's like I take it like I look back to it like it was a good season. I'm happy like for the whole season. And I'm just even more excited for what the future brings and just excited to just get back out there and just try to do the same thing.
Sure.
Good.
You want me to go first and then you go
Yeah,
last?
go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right. Is there anything that you feel like you need to still work on or you're still working on right now in the off season to take your game to even another level?
But like right now, like what I'm probably like working the most on is like my body is gaining weight. Like obviously it was a long season, so I know like what it comes with that. So I know like you got to be prepared for it. You're like your body got to be like prepared for it because it's not easy. So preparing like my body, like I feel like it's like was just gonna help me like just be better, like and just stay healthy throughout the whole season. Because for me, like staying healthy is like my priority during the season. Because if you're healthy, like you can do whatever. Like you could like get better at throwing, executing a pitch. Like if you're injured and all that, like can't do nothing. You can't get better at nothing because you can't work on it because obviously you're injured. So like staying healthy, like it's like one of those things. Like I would try to like prioritize a lot, like my body, recovery, and all that. Because if I'm healthy, everything is good. Like I could do whatever. Like I could, like it's just gonna like I could just do literally whatever I want. Because like I could work on things I gotta work on, and just keep going. And just I could be playing because I remember in 23, I got injured for like 2 months, and being on the side, not being able to pitch, and like seeing your teammates, I was like it was I kind of struggled a little bit with it. And you don't want to be like in that side of the field. Like you want to go out there and pitch and compete, and watching the guys just for me is like I feel like my body was itching. I just wanted to like, put on the uniform and go pitch. But I mean, I couldn't do it. So right now, like I feel like my body is the where I'm focusing more, and obviously there are a lot of a lot of stuff I still think I could get better at. Usually, especially with the sweeper. Sweepers like it's a pitch I know like I could still work on. Like at the end of the year, I started like implementing more like cutter, and I feel like it went well with me. Like I feel like I had a good like feeling with it. So obviously, it's something I'm still gonna work on. Obviously, four seam like I go like I was losing a little bit of carry, so I want to like be able to get back and just work on it just to get carry out again. So obviously, there's always like room for improvement, like every single pitch. Even though like if I feel like right now I feel a sinker, yeah, is probably my great pitch. I feel like I don't need like a lot of like improvement with it. I just more like executing, but at the same time, like you never know like what stuff could you learn and get like by working and getting better, and obviously it works better in the future. So obviously
Quick
there's always
follow-up.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, sorry, I thought you were done there for a second. Just with the cutter though, a lot of Yankee fans are very excited because, they saw the success Cam Schlittler had, when he added that cutter and a sinker, and he was kind of a tri-force fastball pitcher. Is that something watching him succeed with that recipe? Is that something that makes you excited to add that cutter this year?
Yeah, I mean obviously like seeing him like do well with it is something that you look at as like if he could like be able to like make it work like and it's like have given him results like that's something I maybe try and like it could help me just be better with it. Because I remember I didn't use my cutter wasn't like that cutter. It was more like a gyro, like a little bit more.
Hmm.
But it's like we kind of like make some some tweaks with it and work with it a little bit and added in. I was throwing even harder and it was moving well too. So it felt easy like throwing it and it was getting results. Like I remember first game I threw it. It was the same game I was mentioning earlier against the the
Hmm.
Jargos against Colorado. It was my first game throwing it. I remember I threw like 15 and all 15 of them were strikes. So like seeing that, like implementing the game like that quickly without working at like it was a sign of encouragement for me. Now it was like if it were like yeah, this could be a weapon. So I just kept throwing it and just trying to be more confident with it.
I'm gonna pivot a little bit here. Um, do you have any interest in pitching in the World Baseball Classic? Maybe one day pitching for PR?
Yeah, I mean I'm interested in going. Like obviously like at least for Puerto Ricans, like it's always an honor to be able to represent the country and being there in the highest stage. Like, and especially this year because Puerto Rico is playing in Puerto Rico first round.
Hmm.
Like, if I get the opportunity to be there, it's gonna be like a dream come true too because I get to play like against my whole like with my whole family here, like being like playing literally in Puerto Rico. So
Yeah. Being Dominican, I love the Puerto Rican DR games. Those to me are those are the
yeah,
World Series. Those are the World Series of the
yeah. I remember I went to the one in Miami last. That was the game,
23.
Edwin Diaz. Yeah, that was the day, the game Edwin Diaz, like, the whole with the knee, all that. And that game, like I feel like the stadium is about to explode. Like,
I mean, the energy just looks insane.
yeah, I remember I was going like I was like my seats were like upstairs, and it was the inning. I think Christian Vasquez hit the home run, so I wasn't watching. And I was like, we were walking upstairs, and when he hit that, like literally the stadium was shaking. I was like, what the like? I was like, what happened? Like, who hit a home run? What was happening?
Uh,
And but it was fun. It was like the intensity and like the crowd there was just another level.
I've never gotten the chance to go. I would love to, but I mean, I love to watch that kind of baseball. I mean, you don't to me, you don't typically get that in Major League Baseball. It's a
I
different vibe.
feel like we're the only you can get that is like playoff or World Series and like
Yeah.
is where you only see that. But yeah, it was epic. Like being like there from the stands. Can't imagine what it's like being down there and
Oh my God.
like
I definitely heard of it. I heard about a lot about it because I have a group for World Baseball Classic. It's got like a quarter of a million people in that group. And when PR beat the Dominicans, man, I was like, I'm out of here, man. I'm closing this shit down. I don't need to see any more of this.
yeah. Yeah, I remember when I went there, like that was the time I had in Boston. I was in Boston. I remember I went there with a couple of Dominican friends, and I couldn't stop bragging the
Bro,
whole way back.
bro,
Like, because they
DR,
were they were, they were, they were talking like they were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
some shit like, oh, nah, we're gonna beat you guys.
I
I
was
was
just
like,
about to say
ah,
that. I was just about to say they
I was
were.
like,
I think
I
Dominicans
was
were like, we
quiet. I was
want Puerto
like.
Rico.
I was like,
We want
I
Puerto
stay
Rico.
quiet. I stay quiet the whole like way there, and they were like
Mhm.
talking a lot of shit. I was like, oh, we're gonna beat you guys, all this and that.
Yeah.
And then like on the way back, they were all three of them. They were quiet. I was like,
If
oh,
yeah,
like
if I remember correctly, Puerto Rico scored early on, and DR got real quiet. If I remember
yeah,
correct.
it was like because it was a home run from Christian Vasquez. And that
Yeah.
was the first two runs.
And I was like,
Yeah, it was epic. I remember then one Soto hit a home run. It was a bomb. Like everybody that like kind of bring life to the Dominicans there. Like everybody was just going crazy when he had that home run.
Um, the last question that I have is I'm big on IFAs. I'm really big on IFAs. And I try to explain to a lot of people about like what the draft has done to Puerto Rico, right? I mean, can you speak a little bit about that? Because for me, I grew up watching like Bernie Williams was my favorite Yankee. I grew up watching Bernie Williams, Juan Gonzalez, Pudge, Roberto Alomar, who to me is the greatest second baseman of all time, Sandy Alomar, Chico Lean, Javi Vasquez. And I feel like the draft has somehow robbed us of players like that because you don't see a lot of Puerto Ricans down. I think I saw Major League Baseball put out a post recently of like all the international players, and PR was like, I want to say around 25, 26, fourth for the international players. And I feel like the draft is what's done that.
I mean, kind of when the whole draft got cut up like from 40 to 20 rounds, like every year, like the whole new like CBA and all that kind of don't understand that much. Like, the rosters were getting cut. They took out the whole like the low like mid A. They
Hmm.
eliminated that league. So obviously, like that takes a lot of like opportunities for guys, like because there's like 30 more players, or it could be like,
Hmm.
and it's like you got to cut them out. So it was the same, with the draft hit, like when it was 40 rounds. Obviously in Puerto Rico, like it's kind. I feel like Puerto Rico like kind of gets like it's kind of stuck there because obviously like it's a small island, like it's not the same competition as like and being like draft, obviously like high school guys, like you got to compete against all the high school guys like in the U.S. and you got to compete against the whole college guys, like and it's like you can't compare Puerto Rico like it being a small island. Obviously, you never see that many players there, but it's not the same as in the U.S. You got in the U.S. You got way too many players who are like eligible. So I feel like it's difficult. Like obviously, like cutting the rounds, like kind of like doesn't because you see a lot of like at least like a lot of Puerto Rican guys. You don't see that many like get like drafted like early rounds. They usually just like be like more later rounds, and they just a lot of I feel like a lot of guys like they just need an opportunity like to try and maybe you got guys like you can see Albert Pujols. He was like what round? He was like one of the last rounds. And
Hmm.
look who he ended up to be. Like
Mhm.
there are a lot of guys like could be like 20, like who could be like a 20, 25th, 26th, like whatever round they were, and they could ended up being one of the best players ever. Like, and obviously cutting the draft, like obviously like prevents a lot of guys to get picked, and they don't get the opportunity like to be there, and then all of a sudden like they just lose focus and like they just lose the way and never ended up being like whatever they could be.
Hmm.
So I feel like in that aspect, like it kind of like it kind of sucks because obviously you want everybody to play. You want everybody to get drafted, have that opportunity. But I mean, it's just not how it works. So
Yeah. Mhm.
I
I
feel
got
like
one.
that's the one thing like just doesn't help a little bit. Just you got the guys. You got to compete against the whole like a lot of bunch of guys because it's not like it's different like in the DR. The whole international signing because you're just competing against same DR guys and
Right.
Venezuela. You got Venezuela is there,
Hmm.
Cuba, but you don't get that many Cuban players.
Well,
Like
Mexicans now. Hmm.
yeah, so I feel like it kind of puts us in a disadvantage because like you got to compete against a whole like bunch of guys, so it makes it difficult. And obviously, you just gotta like work harder, like you just gotta be prepared and just try to like just be there. I had the opportunity to be there and just take advantage of it. But I feel like it's kind of difficult. Like a lot of guys, and same one thing is like I feel like doesn't help us in here in Puerto Rico is like usually most guys in the U.S. like you don't get drafted, they got to college, they go to college, they like college, they develop and they have the opportunity to just get drafted again. Like I feel like most guys in Puerto Rico, they're like kind of not scared, but they don't want to like they don't want to have like the opportunity to just like go to college because obviously you gotta move from a different country, all that.
Mm.
They just want to sign right away, and a lot of guys they just maybe they just want to sign for whatever money they offered, and obviously like you don't like you see a lot of guys just get signed for like say $10,000 or 50K or whatever it is.
Mm.
Usually you don't see that like in guys from the U.S. Like usually guys that get offered that they just go to college and obviously when they go to college they have a better season and they
Yeah.
get offered way much than that.
Yeah, it's a different
So
opportunities.
yeah, different opportunities. So I feel like that's something, but at the same time, like I feel like if you work hard enough and you like doing the stuff right, like you're gonna
Scouts will
get the
find you.
opportunity. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you got to be realistic at the same time. Like, if you have the ability, you like have the opportunity, like you're gonna find a way.
Yeah. Nick, you have one more thing?
Yeah, one more question. I'll finish it off good. Uh, goal for the upcoming season. What's the goal for Elmer?
Get the big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
the
gonna
goal.
happen. That's definitely gonna happen.
That's the goal. Get the bigs.
I think you
Yeah.
got four guys right here that are very, very excited to see that happen or rooting for it to happen as
Mhm.
quick as possible.
All right. All right, Elmer, I want to thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you for all your
Yes,
time.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. You
Thank
guys have a
you.
good night.